If you don't understand this drama, here's how it goes. Bionic Pig writes a perfectly like-farming, pretentious tweet, and I happen to goof on him. Then his good buddy Elvis the Alien comes back at me, tries to defend him with some typical passive-aggressive snark. Now, I've had just about enough of virtue signaling, socially conscious YouTubers. So I do a rant on him and basically saying that this is the last guy in the world to be preaching, both him and Bionic Pig, really dance on issues that they don't understand. And it really goes all the way back to Zaptie when they threw him under the bus. And I do this rant. Well, lo and behold, again, they virtue signaled again. And I'm assuming one of my fans actually called him out on it and basically saying, hey, you know, you're sitting there calling out David Dobrik. You know, you're not the best, most qualified person of moral character to comment on that. He must have seen my rant. At least, he must have at least heard about it. He turns around, get this, and says, I was never friends with Zaptie in the first place, which is completely incredible. So what I've done here, because this thing has happened over a couple days, I've taken Nick DiOrio's investigation, intertwined it with my rant, and I've actually put some of the tweets here to show you that Elvis the Alien is a complete phony. Like this example right here, where he says that he would never stop being his friend.
I would even consider, like, I'm a friend of Ed. Ed might not see me as a friend, but I will always, I will always see him.
I had him at the best of our intentions. It's just...
Oh, shut up, you lispy English fraud. Oh, God. Can he stand his voice? I can't. Well, here, why am I going all this trouble? Why want this to be a public record? I think the people in the commentary community that see themselves as moral arbiters, well, no, they don't. They're like farming. They don't believe in anything they say. They don't understand anything they say. You can see with this case, with Zaptie, they didn't understand anything, yet they feel so comfortable coming out and letting everybody know what's right, wrong, how they feel, and how things should be done. When things got tough for one of his friends, he left him to the sharks. Didn't do nothing. Has this guy, I wonder if this guy has talked about harassment, or internet harassment, or piling on. I wonder if he's taken a strong stance on that. Well, I'm sure somebody will send that to me. I mean, it's really incredible to me that this guy's openly talked about bobbling this story, that he shouldn't have done the last podcast. And as far as we know, he said he would always be his friend. When asked, hey, what did you do to clear this up? When all the nuance, all the information, all the evidence came out, he flipped back to an old, tired, disproven, debunked stance. Ed's a sociopath. I never liked him in the first place. Truly incredible. I hope this is a part of somebody's exposed video one day. Elvis the Alien probably shouldn't be worked with, collabed with, if you're trying to collab with somebody with moral character. So here I give you the rant. And like I said, it just juxtaposed itself from Nick's video, from the time when Elvis took his mask off. It's pretty much all over the place. I hope somebody uses. That's why I made it. Have a nice day. I have to address both Bionic Pig and Elvis the Alien. And I have addressed them recently in the past because they're starting to irritate me even more. And now they're starting to take this, like, no bully stance, this blue-haired feminist fucking stance. You know, the same guys that were pissing and moaning. Who's the black guy with the white supremacists?
Tariq Nasheed.
Tariq Nasheed. Yeah, remember when they were all in on that?
It was cool to do it then.
Yeah, it's cool to do it then. Now Bionic Pig runs his mouth and says everybody disagrees with him is fucking in the Third Reich. So it shows you how much they've fucking changed. And, I saw something. Actually, I heard something this weekend about Bionic Pig. And I can't go into it because I'm not a backstabbing fucking prick, but let's just say it wasn't good. So I heard this bad thing. It really, really made me mad. And then I see Bionic Pig's opportunity to cash in on fucking this stupid Hashtag dream stands must be stopped.
Great.
I don't know why they must be stopped. Right? Stop looking at content creators like gods. It's stupid and unhealthy. And like normally I would just ignore something like that. But I'm so sick of this fucking guy virtue signaling. And I'm really irritated with the fact that he calls people that criticize him like Nick DiOrio and other people and mock him. Oh, that's like a cult. That's a cult. And then you have the type of content or the kind of things he used to tweet to fucking farm likes that's not popular anymore. So he shifts from one wing to the other because we mean he's just a phony. When I say shit, I mean it. That's something you guys will never be able to accomplish. Ever. So I wrote, calm down, Dr. Health. Expect more people think you're incredibly full of self-centered and stupid content creator than you would like to know. And that's where I thought I'd leave it. And I hate doing a fucking stream on, I hate doing a fucking entire stream on fucking one tweet. I used to do it all the time. But I really know from the bottom of my heart, I am sick of their virtue signaling because they have no business to do it. These are not credible people. These are incredibly phony people. These are people that talk highbrow, stand on pedestals, and when the shit hits the fan, some guys run and some guys stay. Thank you, Colonel Slade. And these guys, we know exactly what they did when the shit hit the fan. They ran on a podcast with I Am Alex to save their ass.
Get the message across, Pig and Elvis enlisted the help of allegedly Zaptie's best friend, I'm Alex.
Ed told me about 4 or 5 days ago now that he was a diagnosed sociopath. That's what Ed told me. Now, obviously, if you don't know what a sociopath is, the basics are he just can't feel human emotion. Now, obviously, this wouldn't be an issue if he hadn't have done a lot of things that, well, a lot of us kept really fucking quiet because he's our friend and we wanted to protect him and we wanted to help him. We wanted to sort a lot of stuff out.
The trio went on to explain how Ed was a diagnosed sociopath, and it became evident right off the bat that there was almost no knowledge of mental health within the group, and most of them had absolutely no idea what they were talking about.
So, it's obviously he's renting content creators in general. Like I'm fucking taking his fucking thing literally, you stupid ass. His tweet is generally good advice. No, it isn't. It's like farming. I know what it is. Do you think I had a problem with the fact that he said stop treating content creators like God? You think that I don't agree with that? That he should be treated like gods? Are you fucking dumb? Are you? No! He's the last guy in the world to be preaching about fucking anything. And so should you. So should you. You guys are the fucking worst. It's generally good advice. Well, thanks for educating me. Can't let an opportunity to try and dunk on him pass, I guess. I've left thousands of opportunities to dunk on him. And you as well. Thousands. You guys preach more than fucking church ladies on Sunday. So there's a million things I could have done. But I found out about this thing. I don't need to talk about it. All I need to talk about is one fucking thing. Zaptie. And all you guys with your grandstanding and jumping on this trend and jumping on that trend. Boy, Elvis, man, he looks pretty tough. He's going to stand up for his buddy. Where was this when Zaptie was fucked up? Why did you only tweet out Nick's video? How come there was never a thing like, God, Jesus, look what Nick discovered? Why didn't you go back and fucking like, yeah, this thing happened to my friend a couple years ago. And I got suckered by this. I got suckered by Alex too. I got suckered by this guy, Alex, and they ruined his life. No, because there's no gain in that. There's no farm liking in that. It's dangerous. It takes a little guts. And I basically got up in this fucking podcast, talked about shit I knew nothing about, like psychopathy, and participating in ruining this guy's life. Nick gets to the bottom of it in 2019, and you sit on your dead ass.
Heather created a twit longer where she stated that she was manipulated, lewd images were exchanged, Zaptie encouraged her, and most importantly, she was 16 years of age. On top of that, she attached a few screenshots that made their way around quickly. This included the infamous "you're worth getting arrested for" response that's so memeable, it's probably the biggest reason that these allegations have still remained largely unquestioned to this day. The first thing that caught my eye specifically was that the main twit longer right here says "no nudes were sent," and the message implies right here that the girl was wearing some form of clothes. On top of that, these are very blatantly cropped, with no scrolling DM proof or extra context for each screenshot. We genuinely don't have any idea whether things like "you're worth getting arrested for" were a joke or not, because we only see what Heather wanted us to see. Before you say, "oh, who joke about something like that?" let me help remind you that I just vindicated a YouTuber who told the girl it's rape time in the DMs, and that girl was literally accusing him of rape. Context matters, and people make edgy jokes. Also, she claims she was manipulated here, but the only thing these screenshots show is her blatantly flirting with Zaptie. Claiming manipulation just seems like it was the right thing to say when you're dealing with somebody who's accused of being a sociopath already. On top of that, from a legal standpoint, wherever he was at the time had a legal consent age of 16, as confirmed by the entire cast of Hot Wet Soup, unless they were lying. Whether it was Canada or a state that he resided in, he could have legally had sex with this girl. For this reason, I was confused as to why this was even an issue at first. I rationalized it as such. Well, I guess two people who legally could have sex with each other were in an e-relationship, whatever that means, for a few months, and then they had a falling out. The girl decided to call him out mid-drama for a bit of clout, and you know what? That's not a crazy leap of judgment to land on. And for all you Brits out there standing on your high horses with your arms crossed furiously, getting ready to spam my comment section, it's legal over there for you guys to do this shit too, so get the stick out of your ass. But this is where the story really goes off the rails, so hold on tight. A few months later, it had become public information that Heather had been lying to the entire community about her age. She was allegedly 13 years old. So now on top of all of that, Zaptie was catfish. So this leads to crazy theories that Zaptie's into prepubescent children, or Zaptie broke the law, or Zaptie knew the whole time, and the internet spiraled into a shit show. So just to summarize, we have a girl who claimed she was 16, who was 13, who claimed she was manipulated, but didn't show any evidence, and now people are beginning to tweet that he sent and received nudes from this girl. And on top of that, these Snapchat leaks show Heather giving a statement in tweets by 𝕯𝖊𝕺𝕺𝖺𝖺's girlfriend. I think it's funny right off the bat that she's friends with 𝕯𝖊𝖺𝖺, so we know just what community this is coming from. But right here we see her admit to catfishing and lying about her age directly in these screenshots. But do you want to know what the real punchline is? Do you know the kicker? These Snapchats have nothing to do with Zaptie. I'm dead serious. This was in December of 2016, around the time that Heather was involved with Zaptie, but the same three people are involved simultaneously with an entirely different catfishing situation on an entirely different YouTuber. Are the red flags flying yet?
This is what I'm talking about. I don't want to hear from Bionic Pig about him going on about what's healthy and not healthy. He's a fraud. He's a fake. You guys run when we know what happens when shit gets tough for Elvis the Alien and Bionic Pig. They cover their ass. You stuck up more for Shay. More than you stuck up for your own fucking friend. Because it wasn't fucking feasible. So here's what I'm saying, Elvis, if you didn't get the fucking point. Whether you're jumping on some Black Lives Matter trend or wearing 16 fucking masks, whatever you want to put out to the world that fucking fits your farm-liking ability. Because you have no fucking personal confidence. You have no social skills. This is the only fucking way in the world that you can feel some kind of gratification in life, because you ultimately have your YouTube channel and nothing else. Nothing. And people like that probably shouldn't be giving advice. Go ahead. I'm not one person to tell other people to shut up when I disagree with them, but I'll be fucking damned if you're going to sit there and place, oh, any opportunity to dunk up. Well, what am I doing? I'm bullying him? He's a public figure. He can't be mocked. He can't be criticized. Neither can you. What, you got too many subs now? You've reached that? You've passed that? What about all the guys you made videos fucking on? They got harassment. I am sick to death of that word coming out of a public figure's mouth. Sick to fucking death. Because you know what it means? It's not that they give a shit about fucking internet harassment. What they're saying is, don't criticize me. And all the shit, the people that they goofed on, or all the things they goofed on, and all their fans went over there and goofed on him too. They don't got a fucking problem like that. You feel that he passed the point of being goofed on. So we're not allowed to make fun of fucking Bunty's ridiculous statements. We're not allowed to fucking defend ourselves when that whole fucking thing started. He started attacking me. That's how he became a super lolcow from 𝕹𝖎𝖈𝖍𝖔𝖑𝖆𝖘. I repeat, 𝕹𝖎𝖈𝖍𝖔𝖑, you're not 40 years old and still doing it. I can't imagine. Yeah, exactly. There's another one. Chris. Guy that stood for nothing. What was he over there sucking fucking Bosch's cock? I'm sorry about Gamergate. Well, that takes principle. That takes a shit ton of principle. Let me speak. Yeah, I understand. Well, Tommy, people grow. I guess you just don't understand that. Yes, people do grow and they change their minds about certain things. And some people just fucking follow trends. You know, I think when Bruce Lee said be like water, he didn't mean fill every glass that's convenient. Oh, new glass, gotta fill it up.
That's a lot of money, I guess.
You are in no position to talk about fucking politics or anything you're trying to virtue signal about this week without getting criticism. None. You've earned nothing. What are you, an activist? What are you, a teacher? Do you have a degree that I'm not aware of? And it's not like you say, hey, give to this charity or do this or do that. No! You fucking stand on a pedestal, both of you. And I'm sick of it. And I'm gonna fucking goof on you. I don't care if you're gonna take the fucking 2014 goddamn SJW blue hair defense. I thought your fucking brand was green. Is it blue or rather yellow? My fucking God. Yeah, you trying to go dunking on my friend. That's more than you. What you gave me was more than you ever gave Zaptie. Ever. Not one fucking video. Not one condemnation of Alex. Not one. Here's what I'm saying. You guys aren't fit to do this. You're fakes. You're frauds. You're barely men.
I also get why, if you're in that situation where you're running the risk of being professionally associated with someone who is no longer professionally like associable. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm gonna pretend it is. I get why you would be wondering what you do. Why you're like, okay, so how do we deal with this? Like, do we just kind of quietly remove him from the podcast and have him part ways and then we move on like that? Do we talk to him, look into it, see if there's merit? Do we just jump on it and condemn? Like, those are all things that I'm sure they considered, and they landed on the podcast, and I can see how that would happen. Is the thing that I don't know if I've ever publicly expressed, but
I know at least Elvis and Pig have expressed like regret for doing that publicly too. They've spoken on their
they've done it privately as well.
Yeah,
they have actually both reached out to me some time ago, saying as much as well. And I don't hold any ill will towards either of them personally.
Does not tell you that Elvis the Alien is one of the biggest lowlifes on the platform. There's very little I could do for you. He makes his typical virtue signal on trending topics on David Dobrik to get more fucking likes, to get more love, the same old shit, and he takes a little shit for it. Opposed to who falsely accuses friends of terrible shit in a podcast and never bothered to make a video apologizing. Well, that's not exactly true. It's when all the evidence came out. It's when all the nuance to the situation that Elvis the Alien set on his dead ass. So what he tries to do right here is, this is a new sleight of hand movement. I was never his friend in the first place. Not comparable in the slightest. I was never his friend. And Hot Wet Soup advertised itself as YouTube buddies, YouTube friends. What a backstabbing lowlife. Accused him of what? Being a sociopath. He told that himself. That he was diagnosed only to reveal that he was lying. You know, you were being told by me, and you acknowledged this to me in my old account, my DMs. You acknowledged this, that you handled it poorly. And what was I saying at the time? This might be a cry for help. Turns out it was. He said, you're worth getting arrested for to an underage girl, but I'm the bad guy, I guess. Oh, Jesus, passive-aggressive nonsense. And here's the thing. There's more nuance to it than that. He was catfished. Boy, if you work with Elvis the Alien, this coward, this lowlife, you have what's coming to you. Guys like you have to keep checking your fucking pants, see if you have a dick. I got one. Thank you, Dennis Leary. Going to fucking, going to all these fucking events, staring at your fucking feet because you have no social skills. Since when it's the guy that didn't know how to fucking make friends in high school and in their 20s telling fucking people how to live? You haven't figured it out yourself that your YouTube channels took off. And you stepped on anyone that got in between that. You never took a fucking hard stance in your life. You'd have less subs. And that's why it never happened. You're frauds. You're kids. You'll always be kids. Always. This isn't entertainment to you. This is your fucking life. Well, I'm not going to go out and fucking... If that happened to me, I would be putting Nick's video everywhere. I couldn't keep my mouth shut. Oh, not you. Not you. Not Bionic Pig. So let me ask you something. If you can't handle life, and you can't handle not being jobbed by a fucking 19-year-old, and you can't speak out when something's been really wrong in your circle, where do you get off telling other fucking people what's right and wrong? That's a real question. And I know it won't be answered. And if it does get answered, you delete the fucking tweet. You stand for nothing. You are nothing. Look, I mean, you ever ask yourself something? Who are you? Do you even know yourself? Who are you? Who is Elvis the Alien? I know. Just a YouTuber. And that's all you'll ever be. So take your beliefs, your values, and stick them up your fucking ass. In fact, smoke it first, then stick it up your ass. Let's talk about David Dobrik, somebody I have more respect for. At least he's openly an asshole.
Oh, finally.
Unfucking believable. Ugh. I don't understand this. I don't understand any of these people. I don't understand where they get off. Any chance to dunk? When am I dunking on anybody on Twitter? Oh, I dunked on AOC a month or two ago. Well, that's not fair.
You're mean.
Fucking Elvis the Alien sitting fucking smoking pot all the time so he can't fucking deal because he can't deal with life. Must be great when you're just numb all day and night. No problems. Nothing to deal with. Oh, and then when something does happen, you don't know how to deal with that either. Hey, listen, I'm not against smoking a little weed. In fact, I'm for it. I think more people should do it.
Go for it.
But you know what? Some people do it too much because they're avoiding shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Avoiding shit. It's truly unbelievable. Not one condemnation. No real effort to spread the word. Nothing. Just a fucking horrible podcast that got deleted. Talking about shit they couldn't even begin to understand. And still don't. And what did they do when I brought up in 2017 that their explanation about psychopathy didn't make any sense from what I understood about it and really wasn't in their place to do it? And how is Zaptie? What is going on? I know it wasn't Elvis and Pig, but they let it happen. I was accused of fucking supporting a pedophile. Turns out none of that was fucking true. How come you haven't demanded that Alex speak out on this? How come? He fucking bullshitted you. Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Next time, Elvis the Alien, and next time the Elvis the Alien or Bionic Pig talk about depression, it's National Depression Month. Blow up their Twitter and remind them who got depressed and who look the other fucking way. Remind them that they don't mean it. They don't give a fucking rat's ass. You really give a shit about people? Fucking, I've done this a couple times. Work in a soup kitchen, Christmas Eve or something like that. And it'd be great. You can fucking hold your goddamn phone and say, hey, look at these bums. I'm working in a soup kitchen. Look at, give me likes. Give me likes. You feel better about yourself because you actually have done something besides post something on Twitter. A bunch of fucking... You're pop culture.
I do it on a daily basis.
You're pop culture critics. You're pop culture critics. You know, I have more respect for guys like fucking Vosh. At least they believe in something.
Heck yeah, point for Vosh.
Might be communism, but hey, it's something. He ain't virtue signaling. He means that shit.
The belief is there. I mean...
Oh, no, one last thing.
Oh, boy.
But,
One last thing.
On this subject, this really covers it that perfectly. Listen to Dream, all right? Because it's very clear that Bionic Pig has a problem with Dream stance. You know what? I think he just has a fucking problem with, I don't know, Dream figured out this shit better than Elvis and the Alien and Bionic Pig did. That's what I really think. That's what I'm starting to see. That's what I'm starting to get from this shit. Who gives a fuck if his fans are crazy? Who cares? He's not the first guy with nutty fans. Say something rotten about PewDiePie. See where it gets you. Oh, I'd never do that. Yeah, I know. Let's listen to Dream. He's got some insight.
I just woke up, so I hope I don't sound too bad, but...
Sound great.
I just wanted to put it out here that I love you, and I care about you, and that it will be okay. And I know that probably doesn't mean much to people who don't already follow me or look up to me.
Doesn't
or
mean
anything,
anything at all, actually.
Truly, you know, I have your back, and my heart goes out to all people of color that follow me and that don't, and everybody who's.
How are you any better than him? Ask yourself. Or is he just better at it than you?